these were the few guys that really understood women on a deeper level that wasn't so pretty and nice.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
So then I started noticing, like, damn, why is my game getting better a little bit the more I learned this? Because what it gave me that I liked, and I started to like really, I listened to all of Patrice's shit, and I started running across, because I was like, okay, this is giving me the energy to have more high value.
Right.
Because I felt like, okay, if I see the sides of women that isn't so great, and I notice their nature and the dark side, it gives me more incentive to not really put them on a pedestal.
And I like how you're describing it.
And it began to drop their pedestal slowly, like chipping away at their pedestal. And the more you learn this shit, it really brings their pedestal down.
Right.
So now, when I do
remember, we've been programmed to have the 90s movies image in our mind. So imagine as a little kid, you have that. You're seeing that on every TV show, every fucking movie, every song. R&B was popping.
So like
90s
to women, like
90s, early 2000s. That was the epitome of music, right?
Yeah,
so imagine that's all right here in your subconscious program. How you gonna look at the woman in real life? You know, you gonna put her on that pedestal.
That's facts.
Your dad's doing it. Your grandfather, you know. So then it's like the way you're just describing it. I think that is the perfect, healthy way to come into it, to look at it, because you're going, I'm breaking this illusion down, and I'm building my confidence because now I'm not making her an idol or like you said, I'm not putting them as a collective on a pedestal. I'm now making them equal to me.
Exactly.
I'm making them, like, say they're up here, I'm bringing them here.
Yeah.
I'm making them human again.
Absolutely.
Not fucking this super thing.
The super beautiful thing, because if you study game without the context of female nature, it makes them the prize.
And I think what's so potent about what I just said is because, remember, we're men. We look at women with their body. We're already more sexual than them.
Yeah.
So imagine you want to have sex with this being. Society's telling you to put them on a pedestal.
Absolutely.
And they look amazing.
Yeah. Oh man, you're fucked. You're already conditioned to put on a pedestal, and they look beautiful. And then you wonder why you can't have an effect on the prettiest girl in the school or that pretty girl you want.
Exactly.
She treats you like you're anything, and you're like, oh, if I could have her. And all that does is make you put you further.
You're going through high school. You're seeing, like, you know, most men are not even peaking in high school. They peak after.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, you get me, you kind of going through these stages. You're like, damn.
And it's funny because the real players, like, there was still your P's and out there. Like, he's talking about pushing P.
Right.
That's cool. I mean, but pushing P, like, that shit goes way back. Niggas been pushing P. People been pushing P, meaning like, bro, Snoop, but it used to be reserved for the bad boys. See, the bad boys, the one thing the bad boys had that these dudes ain't have, they already knew female nature naturally. Because Snoop Dogg, we don't love them hoes. They were saying that since 92. Yeah. They had shit in their album like, you gotta lick on these biggity balls. And like, they used to treat women like anything like, but it's because in those environments, they had to deal with female nature on such an extreme level. And they had OGs that put them on this stuff.
Yep.
So it isn't like this is some new age stuff, but the average man, see, they were the rebels of society. So when 50 Cent dropped songs, like the only place you saw a woman being brought down on a pedestal was like in rap music.
Right, you're right. You're right.
And it was really like hood dudes that was on some like.
And didn't all the girls like those rappers?
Here we go. So like, as it came around full circle now, but why did they? Because they knew female nature. Right. That's why they was able to do it. So now, the MGTOW community comes as a result of that joint. Boom, now we know female nature. And it's starting to spread now.
Now it's a topic of conversation.
And here we are now today. So as it started to spread, it was underground. And then, man, like it started to get bigger and bigger because I feel like more and more people started contributing to it. But it got demonized. It became, here's the smartest thing though that they did with MGTOW that I'll say is dope. They didn't have a leader. And they purposely did that. I remember that's one of their main things. Everybody was like faceless. There was a few people who showed their face, but like you couldn't pinpoint the leader and like, you know, fuck them over.
Right.
It was a bunch of anonymous people sharing, so you couldn't really control the narrative.
You're right.
But it was like a lot of people though trying to like wash it down.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the Mukta community like basically crapping on anybody pushing trying to talk to women. So then that was kind of the death of that community.
Right.
Because it started to become a little corny because we was killing that.
Right.
Then you had the community of people who were saying screw women. But then that began to become corny because dudes started to realize like, bruh, it's not like, what are you not gonna get any, like, you're not gonna have sex with women, like, you're not gonna do shit with women.
Right.
So like, that wasn't really the answer because how long can you not do that?
Exactly.
And everybody would try, people would try to be on that, and it's like, the dudes that are the most hardened and try to act like screw women,
Right.
you're at the most difficult, you're the most susceptible to fall in love or to feel more desire for a woman because the more you isolate yourself from a woman, the warmth of her softness, when
Right.
you do feel it, is gonna like break you like ice.
Mm.
Because you're so removed from it
Right.
that when you feel a real positive feminine essence, it's like you don't even know how to deal with it.
Mm.
So you had a bunch of bitter, nerdy, like there was a lot of nerdy dudes talking trash, a lot of, and the Mukta began to buffer people's inability to take action.
Right.
It became a comfort zone because it wasn't cool dudes talking about it. It was dudes that wasn't getting no action.
Right. So you had a version in the beginning that
Pedestalized.
Yeah.
No, I mean my ass. I'm on what do you call it?
What?
I wanted to spelling bee in 3rd grade, y'all. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I did for real. I wanted to spelling bee like in my school.
That's lit.
Yeah, I know I got an award and all that, man. So when it comes to verbiage and whatnot, that's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? Now math, that class will leave that alone. But English was my shit.
But we had a version of that in society. Then we had a version of men going smack at women.
Yeah.
With techniques, with
Yeah.
this, and they got corny.
Yeah.
Now we have a version of males that don't.
It's like now it's
We hate them.
Yeah, we hate them.
We're like, we don't even want to go
This,
smack at
they
you
do that.
because y'all don't even deserve it.
Yeah,
So,
that's
but
real.
the thing is, I feel like personally,
Oh, man.
I came from a sweet spot, and that sweet spot was like, I understood at the end of the day that I'm not corny,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't fucking hate women,
Yeah.
and I will never, you feel me? Like,
yeah.
come on,
I'm
bro.
just gonna hate the other half. That's like,
What am I gonna do here? What about
You gonna fuck
am
with
I
dudes the
gonna
rest of
be-
your life?
Yeah, am I gonna be here and just no? Fuck no.
I'm
You
gonna
feel
fuck with
me?
myself.
Yeah, I'm
Look,
gonna.
those dudes is 40, 50, 60 years old. I don't want to throw
Nah,
shade on y'all. Like,
nah.
but there's a
Yeah.
lot of those dudes in the community.
I'm
that
not about to
have-
be here
Yeah.
just chilling by myself. Like, no, that's stupid.
Yeah.
So instantly, I knew like, all right, bet. I'm coming at this, and I'm studying it as objectively as possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna take what works for me, and I'm gonna use the things that sound good and implement it in my life and see, okay, bet this worked, dang, that worked, these ideas work, and that's how I came at it, and that's all. It was just very neutral and basic. And then when I started to see like the community kind of saying all this stuff, it started to shift.
Yeah.
It started to become something that it wasn't, because let me remind y'all, there wouldn't be a Kevin Samuels if there wasn't a mystery.
Oh yeah. It wouldn't be a Kevin Samuels without a Patrice. Like, cause I've seen Kevin Samuels quote Patrice O'Neal stuff.
Right.
Cause he was an older dude that got hit to this info just like we did.
Right,
He was 14,
exactly.
15. He wasn't around in 2014.
Exactly.
He came like.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, all these, none of this would exist without the people in the beginning. And the
Yeah.
people beginning
Yeah.
had a genuine
Yes.
desire for women that didn't come from this negative aspect or this like, oh my God, life is over and I've seen the true side of them and I just don't want to do it. No, they came from like, she bad as shit. Like, I'm gonna talk to her.
That's
You feel me?
facts, bro.
Like
That's
I
facts.
desire those girls that look like that. I desire women to be involved in my world constantly, and
That's so dope.
and they all came from either A, the guy that never had that reality, to B, now having that reality. You think they were bitter? Fuck no.
Nah, facts. Because the one thing I'll say with Patrice and Tom Likas and some of those dudes who y'all might not know, but like the difference between them and the MGTOW dudes, which I think is coming full circle now, is they have women. Like Tom Likas, he tell you like, bro, if you get rich, if you really just tell you, brag about his life, like, bro, I can say whatever I want about their nature because I know I'm gonna have a hot girl, whatever. Because this is what they start understanding. This is what we about to. This is big. But the dopest dudes were the ones that understood female nature, could call it out, everything. But they still got women. See, they put both together. You know what I'm saying? They understood female nature and they understood attracting women.
Right.
So Patrice, once you do that, you're fucking dynamic. Right. You're not complaining like a MGTOW dude because you know their nature, but you're still winning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
so
agree.
Patrice, and they would talk about joints. He has a girlfriend the whole time.
Right.
He would teach his girl about female nature.
Right.
He would talk about, man, this bitch, and she would just sit there and they'd be like, how are you able to call her a bitch and she doesn't trip out?
Right.
This became their. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this is deep. It's like this is the secret to the highest level. You see, they use their knowledge of female nature as their leverage.
Right.
Because when you understand women's dark side, you can explain it to them. They begin to know like, oh, this nigga gets me. So you're not that dude we talk about in the movie that's letting a woman destroy his life.
Right.
Because the minute she starts destroying your life, like, hold on, like you're not gonna do that with me. Because I already know what you're about to do.
Right.
And that's not gonna rock. But they know while they're doing that, they're like, I know women love dominant men. I know women like guys that are attractive or that know what's going on.
Right.
I'm also exhibiting knowledge, wisdom, guidance.
Right.
So by me even understanding female nature, it gives me the space to fucking be the most attractive dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?